Parking Lot Podcast. Today got Levi Meek on.
Hi, Pierce, watching. I know you're watching, Pierceling.
He definitely will be. So how early did you wake up for this?
Just 5:30.
That's
good. The time I had to wake up every day of freshman year, or every day of the fall.
Yeah, for band and whatnot.
Yep.
So you're no stranger to the sunrise?
Nope. I find it easier. I actually gain weight from eating normally and sleeping a lot than eating twice as much as I should, but getting only not even very few sleep, just 6 hours, which seems completely full to me.
Yeah.
It's still not as successful. Wasn't Pierce and the other guy the last people on a week ago?
No, yesterday I had my friend on, and then before him was Pierce and Jimmy.
Well, I was watching part of the Pierce episode, and you said something very interesting. I think you said you didn't like roller coasters or something.
Yeah.
And I'd like to discuss that.
All right.
Because I really like roller coasters. Fifth hour this year, we've had a pen pal at an elementary school, a fourth grader. And my fourth grader, when he wrote back to me, he's yeah, I rode Time Traveler 5 times at Silver Dollar City. I'm that's kind of crazy for a fourth grader.
No, their scare tolerance is so low. They're so desensitized.
I've forced myself to become desensitized to rides. I used to just not really care for roller coasters, but then I was on a band trip a year and a half ago, and I was with a bunch of friends, and they're we're riding Velocicoaster at Universal Studios, and I forced myself to ride it, and it was the funnest thing I ever rode, and I was kind of scared. And then I was never scared to ride anything after that.
I don't know, man. My dad made me ride one when I was way young. He lied to me about it. He said it wasn't a roller coaster, and it was terrifying. I just don't want to go that fast, or drop, or go upside down.
Did you ride the giant wooden one at Silver Dollar City that has I think it has loops and stuff, even though it's a wooden coaster?
No,
or something.
I rode the old timey Western cowboy themed one, and that was it. The wooden one I heard though got under construction. I don't know if that's still operational. I like the one where you shoot the guns at the things, and then they light up. The water ride, that one. And
I don't know if I rode that one. I don't know. I've ridden way too many rides.
Either in Indiana or Ohio or one of those places where it's Oklahoma, except we have Brahms and Quick Trip.
And they have Culver's and
In-N-Out, maybe.
Yeah.
And a Buc-ee's.
Maybe.
But
I thought they were building a Buc-ee's near Tulsa.
I heard that.
That might have been false news.
I definitely heard more about that, though, to be not, but who knows. Oklahoma would be crazy, though, because I heard also they're going to build the tallest building in the world, or at least
in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why you'd want to do that.
I don't know why Oklahoma City, of all places.
No. I mean, it's the capital.
Yeah.
But
I think, I don't know, I'm probably just blinded because I'm from Tulsa, but I feel Tulsa is a more popular city than OKC.
I think so.
Besides for basketball, but everything else it's
yeah. I mean, I was just there this last week, and I like OKC, but
very fire waffle place in Oklahoma City, and the downtown area where it's big breakfast burritos, but instead of tortilla, it's a waffle that's wrapped around. It was pretty great.
Is it a chain place or?
I'd time to search up. It's called like Waffle Champion or something.
Interesting. Waffle. I mean, if it doesn't get soggy too fast.
It looks like there's just one. Time to call them. Just
What you want? I'll be there in 3 hours. Have it ready.
and then 3 hours after that, go to work.
Hey, staff, I'm gonna be late. I'm driving back.
No, I start my shift at 5 and it's 4:52, and I'm like, hey Steph, I'm kind of waiting in the line at Waffle Champion in Oklahoma City right now.
I'll fly back as soon as I can.
Dylan parentheses big dog future pilot.
That sounds about right.
And then I made Cameron Carmelo because someone called him Carmelo on Thursday. I forgot who.
Well, I remember he looked over my shoulder at my paper of people I want to interview, and he's like, he said something about like he got all mad about how I spelled his name wrong. I'm like, none of these words are your name. He started freaking out, or not freaking out, but
Yeah. Shout out to Carmelo. Kelsey, he was watching this.
I don't even know if he watches this. Kaysen watches every episode.
Yeah, I remember he's like, the Pierce episode was when the podcast peaked.
Yeah. My first episode, it's like an hour and 2 minutes, and I just fully released the whole thing unedited because it was too hard at the beginning. But then I discovered CapCut and Cybertrucks.
Cybertrucks.
What are your thoughts?
I don't
Positive
like-
or negative? Negative?
Probably mostly negative.
Yeah.
If they're on like a car ranking, they'd be like 3.5 out of 10 or something. They look like they're out of Roblox. They're probably inspired by Roblox.
I mean, yeah. I hear my brother, he keeps saying they look like unrendered, like vehicles or like from Cyberpunk. I like it based on uniqueness and
It looks like they'd have like a refrigerator in like the trunk or something. Which if there is a refrigerator, then I 100% support Cybertrucks, and I'm buying one tomorrow.
I mean, you could definitely put one in there, like a mini fridge or something. I want to see one, like in person. I've been really up close to one, but I've never seen the inside of it. I've never gotten in one.
There's a compartment in my car where it's not like a fridge or anything, but if you put stuff in there, it like stays cold. Like during the fall, I got like an energy drink at like the beginning of the day. I put it in there. I came back later and it felt like it just came out the freezer at the gas station again.
Is it
just,
was it the middle one or the underneath?
It's like in front of the passenger seat.
Mhm.
That's where I keep like insurance information.
And Jimmy, and he said it shouldn't be street legal. It's too dangerous. But I'm like, isn't that every single car though? Is it every car dangerous?
I feel like I heard this before. Doesn't the Cybertruck weigh like a lot? Like it's really heavy or something?
I thought.
So you're saying Ford Broncos don't have individuality? Just kidding.
Well, I mean, they don't look like a Roblox car.
Speaking of the B movie, that was one of my first make side shifts ever. That's what like everyone was talking about in the kitchen. They're like, remember that one part in the B movie where there's the plane and stuff?
Yeah. I like back a house where we're just like you talk about one thing for like a bit.
Or the one guy that was there in like August, like Martin or something. There's one day where he and Cody talked about Overwatch for like 2 hours or something.
I remember that.
You know what they say? If you're gonna make the cheddar, don't add Parmesan.
What?
As the age-old saying goes.
Okay. What's that pizza that has Parmesan on it? Oh wait, all of them? Or wait,
Multiple. Wait, no,
Parmesan-
that's mozzarella. Parmesan's the one.
on the
There's
veggie
the
side.
grated Parmesan, and then there's like the
Yeah, it's like the
other
Greek
ones.
pizza or whatever on the specialty menu.
Yeah.
Because remember, you need to put like kamata or olives on it, and I think like RM or R whatever tomatoes. Yeah,
The Olympian, maybe. I don't know. I forgot like a lot of the specialty ones.
I remember. Yeah, I hate that one. Or you have to get the circle thing, and it's like meat and cheese, meat or meat vegetable. That one's so aggravating. I hated that one. I always mess it up. The 5 cheese was I like that one was easy.
What's your opinion on the pasta Florentine? It looks tasty.
I like how it's green.
Cold side ceases to exist. What if they moved? What if salads became less popular enough for them to just move the salads to the make side? Pizza place, pizza shop, like right there.
Dude, I haven't eaten in pizza shop for years. Cause that pizza is different. That's like
It's different. Have you ever had Gambino's by chance?
I never heard of it. Sounds like a mob family.
It's like the like restaurant itself, like the physical building is like the same as like a almost like Pizza Hut or Mazio's, but the pizza's like 1,000 times better than like Pizza Hut or Mazio's.
Any pizza's better.
Like there's
than
one in
Mazio's.
like Ketchum. Like whenever me and my family go, it'd be weird to like pick up a shift at like another Hideaway, which I know there's a way to do that because people from other Hideaways have come to us.
What?
If it's like super busy. Like I think a few weeks after you left, there's one Saturday where it was like 5 people from like the Broken Arrow Hideaway, and I couldn't tell if they're like new people or like. I mean, one was working cut side, so I assumed he was like experienced.
Well, no, like be able to pick up any shift at any Hideaway.
Yeah,
You just
like I wonder what like the kitchen is like. Like, would it be like?
I don't think it'd be feasible because you're not familiar with that other Hideaway, and so.
Or I think it. I mean, I think I could figure it out like somewhat quick. It's not like they'd be like, "Oh yeah, our feta cheese. You have to walk down the stairs into the secret dungeon, do the optical course, and then you get to the feta cheese."
I remember we ran out of something, and like we had no more of it. And Boris like comes back with like it was mushrooms, and like Cody he cut up a bunch of like whole mushrooms, but then Boris comes in like minutes later with a whole bunch of boxes. Where did he get those from? The Broken Arrow store.
Yep. What's it called? I remember. I think Kaysen's brother, I believe, is a manager at like the Dallas location of Hideaway, and I think he's saying either that they don't have 2 ovens and have just one, or that they do have 2 ovens. I just remember like someone asked him if there's 2 like ovens at his location. I forgot his answer. So
Yeah, because it's a 2-story one they have.
Yeah.
That's crazy too.
Well, if there's like dish in the upstairs and kitchen like below.
I wouldn't want. No, there's no way. There's no way dish wouldn't be on the bottom floor. Top would be crazy, like plumbing wise. Yeah, I would want that on the floor so servers won't have to go upstairs and drop off the dishes. And then, dude, there's no way you could get all the dough trays up the stairs. But so Hideaway has that's one oven, or that's considered one oven. I think.
Yeah.
I talked to Cody or someone. And
I mean, it's like 3 like whatever they're called.
Yeah, it's
conveyor belt like things. Which I remember when I first started like working, or when I was like doing the application and stuff. I didn't know they'd be like conveyor belt ovens. I didn't know dish would also be a conveyor belt. I just assumed like
they just shut it would clean and you open it. Yeah. And so
just like a strong sink. I thought like the ovens would be like
Roblox.
really quick. Not like really quick, but it'd be like you place like a bunch in at a time and you have a bunch more like ready to go or something.
Yeah. Or yeah. So I think I talked to someone about it. Like if Hideaway could get another oven, like if that, or we're talking about getting something else, something else, like more fryers. But and then someone said we do another
More
Hideaway.
fryer baskets.
Or some I can't remember. And then like the gluten free is like why is there no gluten free hand toss? And it's because you have to get a whole nother one of those mixing things. I wouldn't want to be on dough side. That looks, I don't know, not great.
I think Matt enjoys it though. He's always chilling back there.
And it's just,
I remember like Josiah when he'd put on like an OU football game or something.
he
Like
used to do
on
dough?
Meg's side.
Okay. Yeah, he put up
It'd
his,
be in the corner.
yeah, and Boris allowed that. That's awesome. Or I used to talk to him about Joe Rogan because he put on Joe Rogan during his dish. He had some great music, but like my music, I get like too embarrassed because it's so weird, and so I just like play Christmas songs.
I remember what's it called? It's something to do with. Oh yeah. Speaking of like football games playing in the background of working, I remember like I think it was 2023. Me and my friend, we were working concessions at like our football stadium at Union, but it was for like some like giant like junior high football event where like kids from like several schools were coming by, but we were working concessions together. And I think it might have been 2022 actually, but he like put on like the OU football game. I think it might have been OU versus OSU, like Bedlam. And it was having like the commercials before the game started. And that's when we like first saw the trailer for Violent Night, like that horror Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I remember this so vividly. It's just like really funny to watch. Because like there's like no people coming in getting concessions. So we were just like watching all the commercials and stuff before the game started.
And so like what do you just volunteer for the concessions or?
Yeah, like it's because they have a bunch of like fundraising stuff for band because band's like $2,000 a year or something.
Yeah.
Like what I did in 2023 summers, I worked at like Drillers baseball games concessions, like Hornsby's ice cream. Like I remember my first shift of Hideaway ever. I was talking with like Gabriel and Colby, and I was like, hopefully this isn't like the 817 Hornsby's ice cream rush. And Cameron was like also there, but I didn't know him yet. And he didn't
Cameron
really
was
have
at
like,
that thing?
yeah. Or wait, no, he is at Hideaway like my first shift, standing with him.
Yeah.
And that's like his first impression of me was talking about the Hornsby's ice cream rush.
And that's perfect. That's perfect.
And ice cream was goated, except the funnel cakes in the back, which I never wanted to work. That was like the hot side, and the back was like the funnel cakes, and then the front with that like ice cream and stuff was just like cold side equivalent.
Yeah. But all salad side, dessert wise. That's cool. I remember my first day, I was late by like 10 minutes because whenever I did my application, I put my phone number in and everything and put my email in. I did all that. And then I like all the forms. I filled out all the forms. And then like days later, I'm checking my email. I'm checking my messages. I've never been called by Hideaway or anything. And so days later, my oldest brother gets called. And he's like, hey, you don't have to work today, right? And I'm like, what? I had no idea. And so I call Hideaway. I'm like, what's up? And they're like, yeah, just get here as soon as you can. I was like, all right. And then
I feel like that'd be a scary feeling.
My dad was way mad at me. He called me an idiot. I'm like, how am I an idiot? I didn't know I was supposed to work because I didn't get any notification about it. All
I remember is Boris was the one who interviewed me, and Steph was the one who did my orientation.
Yeah. Remember that one? It was Josh did my interview. It was chill.
I got perfect score on like the abbreviations test.
I studied for that for days. It was
I think
so
I
hard.
studied for it for 3 hours, but it's like a very locked in 3 hours. Like I was on the way back from the lake, and like that pizza place I mentioned, Gambino's, I'm pretty sure we stopped there on that same trip back.
I definitely studied for it, and then I talked to other people. And like, I did not study for it, and they just passed it. I'm like, of course. But you need to know all that stuff. Like, that's not just something you have to do. It's like you need to know it. And
I'm still yet to work sand side or hot side. And I think I was talking to Cody about it. He said it's mainly just like I've never seemed like I've wanted to work it, which is probably true.
Yeah.
Like I think I'd be fine on cut side. Like I'm not really against that, but everything else I'm neutral about.
I never want to work hot side or cut side, and I don't know what sand side is.
I feel like sand side would be pretty similar to the
What
salads. Feed the alligators to Starbucks.
Yeah, or I mean, I don't know. I assume because they have more tourists, and like people go to Florida more than they do Oklahoma or at least Tulsa. So,
have you seen the commercial on TV where it's like it's a commercial for like Kansas, like the state, that come have like a vacation in Kansas, and it's like Kansas, the funnest state to do anything, and then Indiana has the greatest restaurant of all time, Buca de Beppo, which is also in Colorado familiar. And Florida.
I don't know
it's the weirdest restaurant of all time. So it's in the one in Indianapolis that we went to like 3 different times for band. It's in the first floor of like tall building, right? You walk in and there's like photos all along the walls. Like there's old fashioned photos of like just random stuff. You have to walk through like an actual like maze of hallways. Like it changes directions like 5 times. Then there's several seating areas where it's just long table after like table of just chairs. Like you could fit like 200 people in like the restaurant, and like there's so many like photos and paintings on the walls, and like a lot are just like weird European art and stuff, but some like there's a photo of like a conjoined twin, and then there's like a puppy dog with like 3 eyes, and there's just like really weird stuff like that too.
How big is this restaurant?
It's pretty chunky.
Yeah, that reminds me of like I thought you were gonna say like Casa Bonita, where it's like a full-on cave and stuff.
It's the most like schizophrenic designed restaurant of all time.
That should be their thing, their slogan, the most schizophrenic restaurant.
And they're like, it's like all you can eat Italian, but it's not like a buffet. They just bring you random stuff, and you don't get to like choose what you get. They just bring different.
It's getting crazier. There's no menus. They just decide what you eat.
Yep, and like there's several different like dining rooms where you can eat. Like there's the main open area, and then like a lot of times on band trips when we're back on the bus after going somewhere, everyone's like sending photos to each other. And my friends, these were like, I think it was when I was a junior, so it was like some of my freshman friends, like the young ones, the tiny ones. They're sending me photos of like in like our group chat. They like went to like some isolated dining room that looked like a castle cellar. It looked like it's in like the tower of a castle. I was like, how come like the freshmen get like the coolest like room ever, just isolated from society, and then we have to sit out in the schizophrenic like picture gallery.
That's hilarious. But that's such a freshman thing though. Like you gotta introduce them into the band. They have to have their own little people experiences.
Oh yeah, you know Gabriel, right, from Hideaway?
Yeah.
So he was in band, right, with me, and on the Orlando band trip, the room he had, I think Dion might have been with him too, and like Owen, and I think Brady too. Oh yeah,
crazy.
I forgot you didn't meet him, but they had like a 2-room suite. Like the rest of us had like a normal room. They had like a room connected to like another room. They had like several beds. They had like 3 TVs. Maybe not that much, but they had like a lot of TVs. Like I walked in one day and they were playing like Black Ops 2 or something.
I thought you were gonna say blackjack, but that's better.
I played blackjack in my room.
And then they put tape over one's doors so they make sure no one's escaping. My brother, when he went to London, I let him borrow my Switch, but I made him sign a contract that if he breaks it, then he has to buy me a new one.
And he dropped it off the London Bridge.
Just went to Union, and I assumed I don't know, Dion seems older, and Gabriel seemed like he was a grade ahead of me. Like he doesn't seem that older. He seems like he's like 20 or 21. Dion seems like 22, 20. He has 22, 23-year-old vibes.
I think he might just be like more mature. I don't really
Owen
know.
has a 19, 18-year-old vibe.
Yeah.
20-year-old vibe.
Indianapolis and St. Louis a few times.
New York seems crazy, or would be cool.
Yeah. It's just like the stereotypes. Like I think most places are different than the stereotypes, at least a little bit. New York City is exactly like every stereotype of it ever.
It's disgusting.
And I spent like a week there, and I remember before we went on the trip, our lead band director, he's telling us how he's like, when Times Square hits 9 p.m., that's when all the funky people come out trying to sell you stuff. And he's like, if Spider-Man asks you for a selfie, don't get a selfie, because he'll be like, now you have to pay me $50.
Yeah.
So me and my friend, we really quick got a picture of Spider-Man and then ran away, and we're like, we didn't have to pay $50. Let's go.
That's crazy.
And Times Square just had so many random just cosplayers and hustlers.
Yeah.
Dressed in Hulk costumes and stuff. It felt like another world, and not in a good or a bad way. It was just like a dream you've had or something.
That makes sense.
That was Times Square.
And yeah. So where did everyone stay?
We stayed at a hotel. It was very near Times Square, actually. We lucked out. Mm-hmm. It was around a corner or two.
Somewhere by the Empire State.
Yeah. And we were dispersed over 15 floors in the hotel. And I remember the elevator you'd have to wait forever because it'd be 60 band kids lined up to ride the elevator. So what me and a bunch of my friends did is we'd sprint up 15 flights of stairs. And these were dingy little spiral stairs, in these little they're not corridors, it's the vertical version of corridors, whatever they're called. It was just spiral stairs, and we ran up 15 floors. And one time we were late to coming downstairs to board buses to go somewhere, so we sprinted down 15 flights of stairs.
I think there should
be some
leeway.
We did that the entire trip.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not gonna take an elevator when I can take a stair. Man, the stress of being a band director in charge of several students in another state.
What did your brother go to London to? Was he in band or?
Yeah, he was a tuba player and sousaphone, and he started out as trumpet or trombone and then tuba.
28th, 2022, because on my very first shift ever, on March 28th or 29th, 2024, I remember he's talking to like another person that I hadn't met yet. It was probably like Cody or something. And he was like, it's been 2 years since my first shift. And it was during my first shift. So we started like the same time, just like 2 years apart.
2 years apart? How? Like, what do you mean?
Like, he started.
And you never met Cody those 2 years?
Oh, wait, no. I shouldn't have brought up Cody. That just made it confusing. But I was.
So he started out the exact day you started, but 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just remember my first shift, he was telling Cody that.
I learned some front of house people's names, but not really. Or I knew them like from high school.
Yeah.
Or
I've known. I feel like I'm about to sneeze, but I feel like I've learned front house people way better from like Bible study and pickleball than from like just work.
yeah, I talked to Dylan like once, and then going to Bible study, that was cool. Or like like Bible study, like I would try to talk to people like going into Hideaway, like I knew Sydney and Keegan and
Because they're all Bixby, right? Or were Bixby.
yeah, we graduated. We know each other since since middle school or high school, and okay, I don't know if I knew any more other servers before that, but this one girl who's a server or support, and her brother, I knew her from high school, and then I didn't know her brother, and then I didn't know any other servers, but like front of house, like it like changes so often. Like people quit. Like that one girl with the nose ring, she moved to Colorado, and
That's an upgrade from Oklahoma, Colorado.
yeah, or I would say it's definitely an upgrade, but like cost wise.
Yep.
But I mean, if you can make it.
Yeah. I only have like good memories of Colorado because when I lived there, it was long before I had to like pay for anything myself. Like I moved right before I turned 8. So like mountains like are like nostalgic to me because like every day I'd just see like a mountain like just outside of town.
Or like in Utah. Yeah. Except I don't know. That's cool.
I always forget that like I grew up in like a mountain town, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah, like it's if you looked around and saw a mountain.
Yeah, like I always knew where. I forget if it was like, I think it was north. I forget which like direction it is, but I like always know where like north is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to Oklahoma and it was so flat and it was just blue sky all around.
Yeah. I see videos where
my favorite area in Oklahoma is Grand Lake, just because it's like a giant lake. It looks like a river, like a very wide river when you're like at a lake house by it, but it has like so many different like channels and stuff. It's kind of shaped like England, oddly enough. I don't know why the shape reminds me of England. It just you're a New Zealand type. I don't know why. I can see you going to New Zealand.
If I move to any country, I want to move to the UK, I don't know, Greece.
Northern Europe, like Sweden, Norway.
Yeah.
And Finland, I would say Finland, but Finland doesn't exist. It's not an actual place. It's just made up by the government, so.
It's unrecognized by most of the UN, so I don't recognize it either. I go to the UK first because I'm a big fan of monarchy.
Oh yeah, I think I was going to your past podcast episodes and just going to a random part in the middle to see what you're talking about. And on the Brie episode, you're like, I'm only going into the military if my entire family dies.
Yeah. I like that one. That
That means all the like Marines watching this will send their like spec ops out to like murder your family so they can get you in the military.
I thought about putting timestamps in my podcast. I don't know how to do that one.
Talk, the London talk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Talk.
Essentially.
Or Hideaway talk. Cody
essentially.
Talk, talking about peers. Gossiping about Pierce.
Dude, like Kaysen texted me and Pierce. He's like, I got a whole section. Like, yes, you did.
Just take up a pickleball court. Oh yeah, when me, Cameron, Brady, and a bunch of people were playing pickleball like a week ago, there's like a group And I just remember there's like a girl and a guy. I think they're like dating or something. And we asked them if they're done with their court, and the girl was like, "Oh, go ahead, you guys can have it." And then the guy was like, "No, we're not done with it." And then they went back to play some more.
Rent courts, or do you just first come, first serve?
Yeah, like when you're waiting for a court, there's like this like thing outside the giant cage where you just put your paddle in it, and that means like you're the next up to take a court when some people leave. And there's not really a time limit, or at least I don't think there is.
I think it's just out of common decency.
We've been there like 3.5 hours before.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I can't. I would never be able to kick someone out of my court. If like I have a court rented, I'm leaving. You can have it.
The parking lot podcast, so stay parked.